I see the beam of dream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're looking at how to find primals. If you've stopped by the stream, you know I love finding primals. It's something we try and do every season to get as many as we can. So I thought I'd make a guide just to show you how to do that. We'll also show you how to find specific primals. Obviously it is incredibly difficult, but we're going to give you the best tips that we can. It's how to spend your resources effectively. So this will be a full guide on everything that we need, everything I can possibly think of about that beam of dream. Now before we do get going, thumbs up always brightens my day, and do subscribe if you haven't already done so. Now primals, the community suggests it's about 1 in 400 chance for the game to drop you a random item and it will give you a primal. So let's start, I guess, with what is a primal. A primal ancient item, let's find one, is basically one that has perfect stats. So let's use this one. So as you can see, it's got a nice red box around it, like this Leorix we've got. So there you go, primal on primal. When we drop it on the ground, we get this lovely red beam. Now the first time you find it, you do get on the minimap a nice red pentagram, which is pretty cool. So it is always nice to find, but basically it has perfect stats. Now this is great for re-rolling, so we can pop this in, and when we re-roll it, well, obviously I'm going to leave crit damage on here, but whatever we get, it will always be the max roll. So max life per second, max main stat. So obviously they are very powerful if you can find the right one. Now if you do find dud ones, there are a couple of options. You can give them to your followers. You know, like obviously this weapon here is great for the Enchantress. It's got 1400 int on. I still haven't bothered to give her a chest plate, so you know we're getting towards this 25k cap out figure. The other thing you can do is you can just salvage them, and you would get 15 forgotten souls. It's a pretty lousy deal. They are so hard to find. I really do wish Blizzard would buff that, but that is pretty much it. So you either use them in builds because they are pretty nice, or you salvage them or give them to the follower. Now bear in mind, most of the time a really nice ancient item will be better than a primal. So using this focus again, I suppose, is a good example. I have been using this ring because it is the best one that I've got for my demon hunter, but it's not perfect. I wouldn't want resource cost on there. So let's say I found an ancient one that had like 17% area damage, 42% crit and 5% crit chance. I would use that over the primal because obviously it is better. But sometimes you do get these random items you find, like a Leorix Signet, and it is kind of nice to use them. So I do try and use the primals when I can, but as I say, I don't want to give you a misinterpretation that they are the be all and end all. Nice ancient pieces, you know, will be better. But even if you go for max primals, you're still going to find lots of nice ancient pieces. Right, so what do we need first? Well, first we need keys, because obviously if the game is dropping as a primal once in every 400 to 600 pieces, the more pieces we find, the obviously more chances we have at a primal. So we need lots of keys because we're going to run lots of rifts. Now, for key farming, there are some pretty good builds in the game. This is my current favourite for this season that I'm using, which is Legacy of Dreams Mages. I've done a guide on this previously. I will probably cover it again on the season. I like this because the mages hit super hard. It's very fast. It's got a lot of move speed. And I can concentrate completely on gold find with this character because, as I say, the mages just really dump out DPS. We can be super flexible. I can even sneak in a Nagel ring for a little bit more magic find to maybe get one more primal across the course of the season doing keys on this. But there are plenty of other good key farm builds. Gears of Dreadland Demon Hunter we've covered on the channel is probably the best key build. Wave of Light on Monk, whether that's on Legacy of Dreams or some Wuku, is excellent. Aegis of Valor for the Crusader is another fantastic key farm build. Whirlwind is always strong on the Barb. I think Witch Doctor Mundanuga is still pretty good as well. Wizard sucks at keys a little bit, but yeah. We'll use this as an example. So I'll go run a rift. Let's go see if we can find a primal. I'll speed the footage up, so don't worry, you won't have to listen to the whole thing. But task 1, obviously we get some keys. So let's just give you a quick example of that. Guys, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. We've got a primal straight away. Now, come on, that's got to be worth a thumbs up. What did we get? Promise of Glory. It's a shame we're not on the Switch. That would have been Pog. But there we go. Primals 20. Let's update the counter, actually. It's always my favourite thing to do on the stream. Poggers. So happy. So there we go, guys. It's, you know, follow this video. The Primals will rain from the sky. Here we go, guys. We've got the boss. And one thing to bear in mind, obviously, on 2.7, we have got ourselves extra keys because the follower has got the canes set on. So make sure any key build, canes, so 2-piece canes and rework will be absolutely fine. And you just get extra keys, so it just means we can run more rifts. So we're done with this character now. So obviously, normally speaking, you might farm keys for like half an hour, It's totally up to you what you want to do. But once you've got enough keys, we're then going to move on to a separate build to blast out these rifts super, super fast. Right, so the next thing we have to do is we have to spend our keys. Now, you do not get any more items dropped after GR90. So if you're only wanting to find as many primals as possible, there is very little benefit going past GR90. That means we can do GR90 just as fast as we can. So this is probably my favourite spec in the game to do this. This is the Gears of Dreadland Demon Hunter. Again, I've done a full guide on this. So this is a seasonal character. Again, nice red beam of dream here. The rest of this gear, most of it is non-ancient. So although we do have the 1300 Paragon, most of this gear is not particularly good. And it looks like my Bane of the Trapped is somewhere else because I've got a rank 0. It won't matter, we'll still flatten it in like 90 seconds, 2 minutes. But yeah, D3 planner in the video description. I'll also link the guide. Now, other builds that are fantastic at this are the Aegis of Valor Crusader. We also have Wave of Light if you can get it juiced up enough to do 90s, but I'd say it's harder than the Valor set. What else is really good? Mages is okay. Again, it's a bit squishy, and Whirlwind is pretty good as well on 90s. So basically, you want something with wave clear because you want to blast the rift as fast as possible. So we'll just do a quick example and show you. Again, obviously level 0 Bane of the Trapped, but the idea is you just want to be one-shotting everything and moving through it as fast as possible because we just want to get to the end or we want to get to the items. Now, I will probably org this spec up at some point over the course of the season, and again, you know, with my 120 level trapped, we could possibly move this up to like maybe 92, 93, and maybe at some point we'll get up to the, you know, the triple figures, the 100s in 90 seconds. I mean, it's certainly got the potential of Gears of Dreadlands. You know, again, as we progress with Paragon, because we are still under 2 weeks into the season at this point. But as you can see, this is an absolute breeze. It's obviously, we've got flavor of time on the follower, so pretty much how fast you do this will depend on the map, the mob type, the conduit pylon, the power pile, and all that kind of stuff. But what I'd say with this is a kind of fastish time is about sub 90 seconds, just about. If you get a very nice map, it's very, very possible. A kind of average one is about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Probably maybe closer to 90 seconds than 2 minutes. I'd say it's probably a little bit of a slow one if it pops out 2 minutes. And if you get the worst map imaginable, and I'm talking like the tunnels, and you get yourself lost, it probably will take you about 2 minutes 15, something like that. So you can absolutely smack through your keys very fast because all we want is the primals. So again, obviously, we've just done this first time. Lucky to get Pestering Woods, but obviously, we're just looking to take the luck out of this by having such a fast build. So, I mean, that was like, what, 90 seconds? So, again, we've picked up all these items. If we do 95, we don't get any more. If we do 91, we don't get any more. If we do 150, we don't get any more. So, this is also a really good way to level up our gems. Obviously, we weren't lucky that time. We didn't get a primal. I mean, I guess we can't expect to in a video. But we also get plenty of blood shards doing this. So, you know, the next thing is basically to start focusing on the specific primals, because if we just keep doing this over and over again, flipping these rifts time and time again, we're just going to get more and more random primals. So now we need to go on to specifics. So the first way, obviously, is spending blood shards. Now we get to target these, so we get to pick. Now, do not spend 75 blood shards. Obviously, you're going to get you get 3 times more value spending on 25. So, you know, any of the armor pieces is fine. Rings are 50, amulets are 100, so I tend to stick away from these if you're just wanting primals. Rings is not too bad. but pretty much you're probably going to pick something for 25. Now obviously quivers it's really nice to get primal quivers, so you know offhands tend to be what you roll, so you just keep going with your shards. And again, every so often Kadala will give you one. It's probably about 1 in 600. It feels like about 1 in 10,000. She is a miserable cow to me. I be honest, I don't even think she's given me one at all. Now, quick little tip: if you do want to roll like offhands, you know, let's say you're wanting to do necromancer offhands, you don't have to swap class for that, so you can take a little bit of advantage of that. But yeah, spending your shards, that will obviously get you primals of a specific type, but it won't give you a specific one personally. So we now need to move on, I guess, to talking about how to spend your resources. So we're back on the Necro, guys. Now, similar to Kadala and spending shards, you can target specific items by doing upgrades in the cube. Now, you want to be quite sensible with this. I'm super low on mats because I'm playing about, I don't know, 7 or 8 different specs this season. So we've got quite a few things to reroll. Rerolling costs quite a lot of veiled crystals, so we're not doing too well now. Something like Scythes is a really good upgrade value on the Necro. So let's load up D3 Kadala and we'll go through that. So here we go. So Scythes, there are only 4 in the loot pool, so I wouldn't do any reforging. We'll go through reforging next after this, but there's no point reforging Scythes on the Necro. It's only on average 100 DBs to pick up a Scythe of the Cycle. You will have, again, that similar-ish kind of chance of getting a primal, so rather than reforging this over and over again, that seems like a bit of a waste of bounty mats. So I tend to just upgrade these in the cube. Every 100 DBs roughly, I'm going to get, let's say, a Scythe of the Cycle, which I want for my Bone Spear Necro, and every one in, say, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 600, whatever it is, whatever the actual drop rate is, we will get a primal. So let's see if we can get lucky for the video. Probably not, but it just goes in here. This costs DBs, which again this season are absolutely no problem because the followers can take sages. So Trag's Fang for that one. And yeah, we can do bounties. That one's no good. We can do bounties, so again we'll talk about that when we get to reforges, and that is a good way of picking up these mats. And other than that, we can just pick them up as we play. So no primal that time, but obviously you just keep going until you get your red one. Now if you run out of any of the particular mats, so let's say I'm really low on the veiled crystals for instance, what you can do is you can just simply get a yellow item, so like that, from a vendor or from Kadala. Either which way doesn't make a difference. And then you can say, well, if I am out of veiled crystals, I can do a convert, and I think arcane dust is my highest one. So pop it in, fill, transmute, and then again for the cost of 1 DB, we get 100 veiled crystals. So I can do that and balance out my mats. Really, you want these 3 things to be equal. As I say, I'm super low on veiled crystals because I've been doing tons of upgrades and tons of re-rolling, setting up builds. But that is a way of targeting specific things. So Necro, Scythes are obviously great, and again, mighty weapons are okay on Barb. There's not too many of those. So you're looking basically to go to D3 Kadala, look for something with a very tight pool. Another good one is Wizard. Let's say you wanted to play some Frozen Orb. Where are we? Dagger. One-handed dagger. Or is it just dagger? So Wizard Spike, you might want one. It's only 1 in 3, so even much better odds. I think the best in the game is probably the Demon Hunter with the dagger. Again, Carle's Point for Impale. So, something like this, you just keep upgrading until you get yourself a nice red one. And now for this next section, we're going to jump on the Wizard and we're going to show you how to target a specific primal. Now, again, it's very, very low chance. I don't want to mislead anybody. It is very hard to do, but we're going to use this recipe here in the cube to reforge. Now, this costs bounty mats, and there are 2 ways of getting this. So we need a super fast bounty build. The other way of getting the bounty mats is to do the challenge rift every week. The EU one is absolutely brick hard this season. Kudos to anybody who's done it. It's absolutely pants. But again, you get 3 rerolls a week with that. But I would do public bounties. It's 50 Forgotten Souls, so again, you're looking to kind of balance it. It's a 10-to-1 ratio. So I've got quite a few souls, so I know I can go and do some more bounties, and I can do a bunch of reforging. Bear in mind, you need Forgotten Souls to reroll properties, so I wouldn't drop below sort of about 300 really in a season. But then the rest of them you can blow on reforging. So I'm going to do Death Wish. Now, the reason we're going to do Death Wish is obviously if we go back on to D3 Kadara and we go to swords, we can see that the wizard has got an absolute shit ton of swords in the pool. You know, the chances of the game dropping as a Death Wish is very low in general. It being a primal one obviously is even rarer again. So something like this is a really good use of spending the reforge mats. But if we compare that back to the daggers we had, that is an absolutely massive waste because it's so much easier to get a wizard spike. You can find way more copies of this upgrading daggers in the cube than you can with swords. You know, you're like 4 or 5 times more likely to get it. So as I say, now another good one is Necro. It's very hard to get the Bone Spear amulets, the Haunted Visions. So again, you can see how many amulets are in this pool. Very hard. So the Haunted Visions is another one that is quite good for reforging. So you need to come on this website, you know, apply you know, some logic to it. You know, Dainty's binding, again, quite hard to get. There's quite a lot of belts, a bit of a pain, all that kind of stuff. It's up to you to decide how to spend these materials. We'll show you how to get them in a minute. But all we do is we stick it in and we re-roll it. And let's hope for some more video luck. So I think we'll have like, we'll go until we've got just under 5 of these left, because we'll go and get some more bounty mats and I'll show you kind of how to do that. But I mean, the challenge with once per week is not enough. I'd say you need to be doing some public bounties. So again, we need to basically go through all the bounty builds. That would have been, if the modifier on that would have been better, that would have been a nice one. But unfortunately it isn't. So how many more have we got? We've got another 3. I mean, I'd love a Primal Death Wish this season. I've reforged this like a bunch, and my best one still isn't very good. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So yeah, again, 277 on the modifiers, not good enough. And we've gone. So there we go. No luck for us. We don't have enough mats anymore to do this, so we now need to go get some more. So we'll jump on the Demon Hunter and talk about bounty builds. So we've been kicked out of the game because the servers are a bit of a mess today, but all we do is we go onto public game, bounties, click join game, and we're going to use the Demon Hunter. I think this is the best bounty build by a mile for me. Aegis of Valor Crusader is probably a very close second. It is pretty good. We've got, what else? Patterns of Justice Monk is quite a nice one. But obviously, it's a split bounty. Would you split up the bounties? Now, I tend to look for the Key Warden ones first, just in case I want a Hellfire Amulet. Sometimes, like, the Key Warden is, like, miles over here on this one. So, obviously, we've got a little bit unlucky. But the idea is we just do the bounties as fast as we can. The chances of finding a Primal doing bounties is slim because the drop rate isn't as high. You know, it will happen. You'll get one during the season if you play enough doing this, just dropping natively. But the idea is we're just looking for bounty mats. Mages isn't so hot for bounties. You can use it. It's just a little squishy. But you know, there's plenty of bounty builds. We've done lots of guides on the channel for different stuff, but you're just looking to get this done ASAP, and then you can collect the goodies at the end. So I will probably just jump to that, and then we'll have another go at the Death Wish. But yeah, just get the bounties done as fast as you can. Anything with great move speed, and again, wave clear is phenomenal. And this is probably my absolute favourite, which is the Demon Hunter. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec, guys. Right, so that's that done, guys. DH, God DH is so fast for bounties. I think we ended up doing 10 of them because yeah, we rock as the DH. Now, even though we've completed these on the Demon Hunter, we can go and open them on a different class if we want, and they will have the main stat of that class. I don't really want anything with Dex on. I want Intelligence, so I'm going to jump on the Wizard, and we're going to have another couple of goes at that Death Wish. But yeah, just get the bounties done as fast as you can, and we can get on with reforging. Alright, so let's pop these bags open. We gobble up the bounty materials, which is the most important thing. And as we say, when we ID this stuff, it should all have Intelligence on it. As the main stat, which is a nice little trick if you want to get like Avarice Band or Gloves of Worship for like an Enchantress and you're playing a Dex class, or vice versa. So yeah, did we get anything good? No, we didn't. But yeah, there you can see Intelligence main stat. So we've got some more bounty mats, so we can take another go at the Death Wish. Now I'm probably going to do this once or twice more because I do need some mats to craft some. I think Crimson's on my Necro, so we'll take what, 3 stabs at it maybe. And I'll get back to doing some more bounties later. But I mean, Death Wish I'm fully expecting it to take almost all season to get a primal one of these. I mean, we might just not get it at all, but screw it, we'll go for it. One last one. But yeah, as you can see, Death Wish is obviously going to be a very hard one to guess. Fingers crossed the game drops in one. But that is pretty much it, guys. You know, it's just all about speed. You need to do your keys as fast as you can, GR90 as fast as you can. By all means, up that as your character grows in power. Just try and get it done in 90 seconds average. You'll be absolutely golden. Spend your shards on what you want to focus on class-wise for 25. Try to spend that rather than 50, 75 or 100. Upgrade things that are sensible in the cube using D3 Kadara. And then finally, the hardest pieces to get, reforge. So like for me, Death Wish, definitely my hardest item to find. So I'm going to keep plugging away until I get a really nice one. And fingers crossed, it has got a red beam around it. That is all that I can think of in terms of primals. We're at 20 now. We're under 2 weeks into the season. That's pretty pog. I'm going to keep trying to collect as many as I can. I wish you all the best for the season. I hope you're enjoying your day. Stay safe in Sanctuary, and I will be back with some more videos soon. Take it easy. Peace.